Okay, welcome back. Today is the start of my Unranked to Grandmaster series, and the very first thing you do when you're going to make a series like this is forget to record the first and second game you play. So, for this game and the next game uploaded tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the observer point of view instead of the first person one, but in the future all these will be made in first person, and I'll be doing some commentary over some of them and not so much on others. Just depends on how good the game is and what I want to talk about. So a lot has changed in early access, obviously, and I'm going to be making some additional content to talk about some of it and give some guides and stuff. But one thing that I was stressing during the frigate build was you can't let the arc ship land when someone's doing a rush on you. And sure enough, they made me look like a fool, because now the arc ship can't land, and I even said, well, that's going to stay consistent through early access. You can't let it land, and now it can't land. So I guess maybe I was right, or maybe I'm a complete idiot. It doesn't matter. In this game, I'm going to be doing a fast expand. This is generally ill-advised in the current balance patch when the game has just released. But I went for it. This was actually my very first game on Ranked, obviously, so I didn't totally know what to do, so I thought I'd just go for it. I also was unaware of the changes to the morph core, so I was sitting there going, what is this thing doing across the map here? It's not going to be able to do anything. What does he think he's... Like, is he going to make a fabricator or something near my base? And you can imagine my surprise when he immediately dropped a creation chamber, which I had also never seen before. But there it goes, and so it's about this time that I start to realize something's wrong. So I'm gonna assign quite a few workers to gas here, or Ethereum rather, so that I can get a mech bay up and running. You can see I've got barely any on Luminite. And this ability here, the Sovereign's Watch, this thing's broken. 30 seconds, and it's got the range of like an Atlas. It's insane. It's like 15 range or something. And it also lasts 30 seconds, and they also have 3 charges that are pretty much off cooldown by the time all 3 are used. You can see he's pretty much shooting me across the base. It's still going. I'm pointing out in the observer thing, it's still going, in fact, and I was kind of in shock at that. I preferred the old version where it was bugged and it did no damage, but that's just me. And so he's going to be making more crystals. I also learned this game that you don't need an extractor on the Luminite to mine it anymore. And he's going to pull up with his arc ship and start dropping link nodes. It's about this time I realize things are getting a bit more serious, so I'm going to put a sentry post down. I'm going to use my overcharge to ensure that it gets up. That 50% building speed also means it gets more HP per second when you're building and repairing. So it's always good to overcharge if you're very close to having something die. Now my first hedgehog's out. He's going to get stuck a little bit there, but he's fine. And with the repair post, the Sovereign's Watch, even though it lasts forever, the sentry post with the Bob healing is still better than that. And I'm just going to continue to make hedgehogs. He's going to be going for Argents. Argents are pretty bad unless they've got full energy. But even then, you can see here my sentry post and my Bobs are able to out-repair this. So he's trying to target down some of my Bobs, but they've got overcharge on them. And with the turret, I'm going to be trading out pretty well there. He's going to be continuing to make crystals and sending them across the map. I'm just going to be, like I said, trying to make more hedgehogs. He uses another Sovereign's Watch, which at this point I was wondering, I had not read that they can store 3, and I was wondering if this guy was maybe hacking or something, what the hell is that? But sure enough, they've just got lots of charges. I'm going to grab a snipe on that Argent there, and I'm going to be trying to focus down this creation chamber as it makes, trying to get it. It's my understanding that Celestial buildings take 50% extra damage. I'm not sure if that's stayed in the game or if that's something that they've removed since then because they morph longer. But I always try and target down morphing buildings. And as we move forward here, my turret's still just going to be trying to repair. I'm going to be trying to pump out more hedgehogs. And back at the base, at my main base, I am also making workers. I wasn't at that particular moment, but you saw my worker count has increased. So I'm trying, whenever I have spare money, to make workers. Behind this, you can see my natural right now is creating workers, and that means my main is as well. And he's going to use another Sovereign's Watch, and for some reason it reaches all the way across my base and gets that hedgehog. And this was also the first time I saw the link node, its new fast firing, and I was wondering what the hell was going on and what that was and why its range is so long and why it does so much damage. I had a lot of questions going through my head at this point in time, but as we continue, he's got a million crystals harvesting. His income is really good, actually, I think. It looks like it's really good based on how much he's got mining. And I'm going to be trying to repair my units and do some micro here to get rid of these link nodes. Always just pulling back the low HP ones. He's going to be going for the repair-o-matic. That's a bad idea, I think. The bobs are going to be there to repair. They get stuck because their AI is not that good. And then that one that's repairing is going to block my hedgehogs on the right side, so I'm going to get him out of the way. But I managed to save the repair-o-matic. That's kind of the key to holding this whole push, is the repair-o-matic. You can't lose that, especially since you saw earlier I actually salvaged my barracks. That gives back 150 luminite, and so that's the equivalent of one hedgehog in luminite, so it's pretty important that we keep that. I remade my barracks in my main base a while later once I realized I'm probably going to need more sentry posts. You can see the little dot on the minimap in my main base, that's the barracks, and you can see an additional sentry post coming up here. I'm starting to realize the severity of the situation I'm in as more and more link nodes come up, and batteries and argents and another Sovereign's Watch. I don't know how he has so much, but then he's going to warp in 6 buildings at a time like he's in a cinematic. I'm not sure how he did this, honestly. I thought buildings warped in one at a time, but he managed to warp them in all at the same time. I thought that was really cool. I'm not sure if it was delayed or something, or if he's just that fast, but I thought that was great. And you can see it's turning into a bit of a mess here. Things are repairing at the same rate that things are dying. I made a Lancer. I don't know why. I was just trying to kind of spend my money, get some damage in wherever I could. And my hedgehogs are just going to be trying to trade as best they can. You're going to see my 2 repair-o-matics doing their best, but I am losing some of the hedgehogs. There's just a bit too much damage going on here. He's going to be trying to target down my mech bay, again with his Argents. Another bad choice. This is similar to the repair-o-matic that he tried to kill. Argents don't kill buildings. Argents can trade out decently well if they're near batteries, and that's kind of their only job. They're not really meant to be wasting their energy on trying to kill buildings, and when they run out, they don't really do the damage necessary. He's going to try for my sentry post again. He's going to get it this time though, because I've built 2 on the high ground there, north side, and I'm looking to hold on that side a bit more than on the tight cramped area on the right. I need better surface area to micro, so I opted to move to the north side for the fight. Where my sentry posts there, you can see the one is repairing the command post. It's still in range, and it's still perfectly fine. You can see a third one's going up there. And I realize my command post is taking severe damage, so I'm going to assign some bobs to just be on consistent repair there while I micro my hedgehogs around. So, I don't have much more to comment on what's going on here. It's kind of... yeah, I don't have too much to say about this. This is really something. I've never experienced a rush like this. This was a great experience in my mind. This guy's targeting down some bobs and stuff. There goes another Sovereign's Watch. And at this point, I almost, when it died, I almost said, should I give up here? But I do know the counter to this build, and I'm going to be showing you guys kind of what to do. And so I'm willing to just try and play it out some more, because he's really all in here. Even though he's got a lot of crystals and stuff, he's got no tech, and he spent all his money that he's earned so far into link nodes and batteries only. And so trying to escape from this current position is going to be pretty tough for him. I have, back in my side, a tier 2 command post. I am severely supply blocked. He managed to take out some of the depots, and it's going to stay like that for a little bit. I'm heavily focused on microing here, and he's going to go for my bobs and sentry posts again, which, you know, every time he does that, I'm trading out damage on his units for just a building on mine, which I think is good. My mech bay here is going to start taking quite a bit of damage, so I'm going to salvage it there, and I'm going to build one back in my base. I'm also floating a decent amount of resources, so you're going to see me put down a second one. And the low ground here is effectively lost. My mech bay is going to go. I'm going to evacuate the bobs. But I'm going to bring my hedgehogs back, and I'm just going to try and fight it out as much as I can. The mobs here are going to have to fight as well. I've got some better micro, and my units are tier 2 and 3. Those hedgehogs are, even though you can't see it. So they are significantly stronger than the Argents. There's that second mech bay going down. And despite all of my losses, I'm still not in a terrible spot. This is still something I can work with. My Lancer's going to run in, take a bunch of damage, and walk away. Thank you, Lancer. Very helpful. And I'm just doing a little recap here of all the crystals he's got. He's got a lot of economy, and you can see he's floating a lot of money too. I don't think he spent his money the best he could have, but it's whatever for him. I'm going to put the Lancer into the sentry post instead of the Repair-O-Matic for just a bit. And the Lancer, when he goes into, the sentry post, he turns it into the buzzsaw turret, which does bonus to biological units. And Argents are biological, so he's going to be getting a lot of damage and a lot of value off during that. I'm going to salvage my Repair-O-Matic there. I don't actually think that got off despite the little $ pump going up there. I think both of them died without returning the money. But at this point I've got 2 mech bays up and running, and I also built my secret weapon, the machine shop. He's going to keep trying to fight with the Argents, but my micro is just better, and I'm able to pull these back because the hedgehogs are much faster. The machine lab here is going to allow me to make atlases, and I'm going to be putting down another sentry post as well. The atlas is kind of the key to this, to breaking all of this. It outranges the link nodes even just by barely a little bit. I think the link node range is 11 and the atlas is 13 if I'm not mistaken. So my only goal here is just to hold out until I can get those up and running. I'm going to poke down the ramp, try and get some free damage. And I think if he went up the ramp here, he could have traded out maybe a few hedgehogs. My sentry post is still under construction, but he's waiting for a critical mass, then he's going to go up. He's also going to try and focus down the sentry post while I blast him, but he's not even going to get it. Sentry posts pretty good. They have a lot of HP still, even though they've gone through some nerfs. And now that my Repair-O-Matic is up, I'm pretty confident in my micro to be able to hold this. He's going to try and focus this down. I'm going to pop the shield on it. He's going to try and commit to it, which is a terrible decision, so I'm just going to put the Repair-O-Matic on it. And I'm going to get out of this without losing a single unit, while he loses almost his entire army. But this was kind of just a ploy, I guess, for his other units to get up, which are the link nodes and the other creation tower. He's going to get my sentry post, so now I'm on the back foot a little bit. But the savior of the day comes out just in time. There he is on the left. And once that's out, he's not going to be able to micro out of that, really. Argents are pretty slow. And so he's going to get that atlas there. It's going to get some pretty critical shots off to let me turn the tide of this fight. I'm going to even bring down some more workers. When you're in this position, you got to kind of commit with the workers. That Sovereign's Watch is going to be attacking my tank. And here I'm going to try and turn my hedgehogs into the anti-air mode and blast down the arc ship. It was a mistake on my end because I didn't put it up fast enough, or far enough rather, and the arc ship didn't die. If I had put that a bit more forward, I was a little afraid that he would come up the ramp or target the Sovereign's Watch. But he didn't have any Argents. I didn't know that at the time, however. So now I've got an evac, and here comes my second atlas. And from here on out, he's lost the game. An atlas, 2 atlases and an evac can save any game, no matter how drastic the situation is. I'm telling you this, just like an immortal, 2 immortals and a warp prism in StarCraft, 2 atlases and a evac can save pretty much any game. And I'm going to start to tear through his defenses here. And the majority of the rest of the game is just going to be me microing these around. I'm going to have another tank on the way. I'm going to rebuild a sentry post in a bit more of a defensive position that he can't get, so that I can repair these as needed. You can see I'm just launching things from afar. He's pretty low on money. He spent a lot on that last attack. And anytime he tries to come up, I'm just going to back away and move him back and shoot again. He's going to try and come up the ramp. It's a terrible idea for him. He loses a bunch of stuff. Snipes the sentry post, I guess, that was under construction, but that was not worth it at all, obviously. And I'm going to come right back out and start firing again. My shield is also coming off a cooldown here, and I know that, so I'm going to be looking to try and maybe just take a full fight. And I'm going to be, as I gain more and more ground, trying to take these full fights as much as I can in order to speed up the game pretty much. So this is going to be an example of one of them. I'm ready to full fight. He's going to go for it again. I popped the shield again. He's doing barely any damage. He's going to lose everything. And I just pick up when I'm ready and bring it back to repair. And there you go. You can see it's going to repair up to full HP. I lost 0 units that fight, or maybe I lost a headshot. I didn't see. I'm pretty sure it was 0. And he lost everything again. The Sovereign's Watch is going to be buying more time. That ability is very strong. Still working on that. I'm sure that's going to be balance patched soon. And my other Atlas is going to come out. So I'm just going to be kind of doing a rotation with the Atlases. I'm going to let the evac tank a whole bunch of damage while the Atlases shoot at them. And I'm going to keep it hovering because it looked like he was going to go in. But when I saw he wasn't, I'm just going to repair the evac while they keep firing. And keep advancing the Atlases. The evac now slows down 30% anytime the Atlas is in it, but that's not a big deal. You can get at the machine shop an upgrade for the evac to do more damage, or to get more movement speed rather, which pretty much allows the damage output to be significantly higher because it maintains that speed while it's transporting. I'm just going to try and take another full fight here. I've got 4 Atlases and still quite a few Hedgehogs to tank up front. And with those projectiles coming through all around, he's going to lose everything again. And I'm going to continue to break this stronghold he's got here. Slowly chipping away at everything. And I'm just using the evac to spot the buildings. Remember, Atlases can almost shoot further than they can see. So in most cases, you got to make sure you have vision on the actual buildings that you're trying to kill. And you can see there I brought down some more bobs just to repair everything. Just so that I don't have to go all the way back and I'm pushing through. I'm going to make my big push here and just kind of go all the way with my Hedgehogs. It looks like he's in full retreat and I see that, so I'm just going to keep advancing with my tanks. And I'm going to keep on making mech units out of my mech bay with what small economy I have. 4 Atlases is probably as much as you need. You don't need any more after that, unless you're going for additional evacs and stuff. So I'm going to be going for Hedgehogs instead to buffer up front and take damage while the Atlases fire from behind. So now that that position's broken, I have a strong hunch that he is set up in the middle part here, because that's what Celestial players like to do. They think they're safe there. So I'm going to just take a worker and go and kill that. And I'm just going to slide right in with my entire army here. I'm going to focus the crystals first, because the archship is really slow, and it's not going to get away like the crystals will. You can see I pick up my Hedgehogs with my evac there and just kill it instantly. It really, with its HP deductions, it really dies quickly to those types of things. And on the other side, he's going to try and go for a base trade. The joke's on him. I'm not mining at all, and I have nothing, so I'm fine to do that. And I'm going to use the tanks there to blow up the trees. If you didn't know they could do that, they can, and so I'm going to get my units through much quicker. And I'm going to be going across the map here. I actually decided to turn around temporarily based on what I saw, but then I thought, this is not that many Argents. I'm going to send 2 tanks back, the ones that are already walking, and the rest of it's going to push across the map. And my A move here, this actually happens to be his last building. Crystals do not count as buildings, and so I'm going to kill it and just win. I was in the winning position, even if that wasn't his last building. He was done for. And I barely won my first game. He really gave me a run for my money, but I managed to pull out a win. So thank you for watching.